Well, what's up, everyone? With no match this past weekend for Orange County Soccer Club, we didn't have any disappointment or excitement as fans, but we do have an upcoming match that we're going to get into this week. And with a little bit of extra time, we decided, hey, it's a great opportunity to meet some fans of Orange County Soccer Club other than the usual voices you hear on this show. So we've got some fans joining us this week. We've got our regulars. We've got a guest talking about Sacramento. We've got a full show for you. So let's get this thing started. Welcome to the Show of Champions. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. How's it going, Orange County? I'm messing up this intro. Right? How's it going, Orange County? Welcome to the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, the first and only show dedicated to Orange County Soccer Club, its fans and supporters. And we're going to put an emphasis on fans this week because we got a fan takeover show. We're going to meet and talk to some fans, long time, short term. It doesn't matter. We're going to talk to them and we're going to get this thing started. So I'm going to introduce the fans that we're going to talk with in this episode. And first and foremost, let's bring on Jen. And it's, let me get the name right here, Jen. It's Jen Lundblad, correct?
Correct. You got it.
Awesome. Jen, so here's how we're going to do. Introduce yourself. You're going to let us know how long you've been an Orange County Soccer Club fan and what got you started with this fandom.
So it's probably been about 3 years now, and 3 summers ago, we were just looking for something to do as a family, and something must have popped up on my social media. And I said, oh my gosh, did you know Orange County has a professional soccer team? So we booked tickets, and they were on the sunny side of the stadium. And I think it must have been like July and a scorching hot day. And we sat down, and my husband was like, we are not sitting here. And somehow intercepted Matt Fonseca just meandering through the halls, and Matt hooked us up with some really great seats that game, and followed up with us a week or so later and said, hey, we have some season tickets available. What do you guys think? And we said, why not? So we've been season ticket holders for the last 3 years, and kind of, stumbled upon the Orange County team. But once we found it, we haven't left.
A couple quick comments on that. Social media is always knowing what we're looking for before we know what we're looking for. And also, I think that's a very common phrase with Orange County Soccer Club is, hey, wait, we have a soccer team here? Let's go check this out. Let's see if there's any other familiarities with any other fans. Josh Wright is another fan of the team. So again, same question for you, Josh. How long have you been a fan, and how did you become a fan?
Well, my story is not like Jen's. However, I have been a fan for the same amount of time, about 3 years. And I heard about Orange County Soccer. I didn't even know, again, there was a soccer club. I played club soccer my whole life, had been literally just kind of looking at games to go to. I'm like, I don't want to drive to LA. I'd love to get season tickets. My son plays club soccer. I'd love to find somewhere just to watch some games. And sure enough, I actually went to a funeral and saw an old acquaintance that my wife used to work with, just a mutual friend. And I was always looking at his Instagram posts. I'm like, who is this team that's, you're always posting? Like, what is this? And I've never seen this team. I know of a lot of teams. And sure enough, he's like, yeah, it's Orange County Soccer Club. I'm like, what is that? And he's like, we have our own team. Like, oh, wow, I didn't even know that. Like, where do they play? And so I start researching at Great Park. I live in Anaheim Hills. So it's a hop, skip, and a jump for me, 15 minutes on the toll road. And I just got season tickets right away because I just wanted to watch soccer, plain and simple. And the first game I went to, I haven't looked back. It's been just absolutely amazing. It helps when you're a big soccer fan, but yeah, I did hear about him at a funeral. I know, but I'm here.
Fun stuff. And I think another recurring theme that you may hear from not just these fans but from other fans is, once you go to a match, you're sort of hooked. It's such a great value. It's such a great atmosphere. And Josh, you as a former soccer player, you have a son that plays. There's no better way to get that close to soccer action than at Championship Soccer Stadium watching Orange County Soccer Club. We have one other fan that we're going to bring in this conversation. Then we're just going to have a nice little conversation with each other and talk about this team. And that last fan is Kayvon Amadari. Kayvon, hopefully I got your name right. If not, you can correct me. You can punish me for that. Kayvon, how you doing? Same question for you. How long have you been a fan? What got you started?
Doing well. Yeah, you got it right. I've been a fan for a while, so my story is a little different. I go all the way back to the LA Blues days when they were playing at Cal State Fullerton. So yeah, I've known about the team for a while. I remember the UCI days when they were playing as OC Blues. And I would attend games here and there, but I would say what really caught me was the 2021 playoff run. I was like keeping notice and attending those games, those playoffs games. Yeah, those were unreal. And yeah, after that, same with Jen and Josh, just been hooked since and been going to as many games as I can. And yeah, that's my story.
So I feel like Kayvon goes back very far on this. So he's probably used, he could probably tell us these stories. Oh, am I frozen? Am I not talking? Hopefully this is working. Hopefully y'all can hear me. But Kayvon could probably tell us some good tales of the good old days of maybe 50 fans in the stadiums, or I think there's tales of, couch tailgates at some of these matches. So I'm sure Kayvon can tell some of that. But let's get into this discussion talking about Orange County Soccer Club fandom, experiences. So I think Kayvon shared with us a big draw to him was that playoff run, that championship run for Orange County Soccer Club. Jen, what is it about the experience for you and your family coming to these games, and how does it relate to you as a person living in Orange County?
Kayvon, I don't know if you can read the comments, but someone asked if you have any tattoos.
Just one.
Let's do this.
You don't want to elaborate, huh?
It's a former player, 2021 finals MVP.
Oh. You don't want to share the name, Kayvon?
I feel like if you're a fan, you should know that.
Ronaldo Damas, huh?
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, let me ask you this, Josh. Share with us, where do you sit at the matches, and what's the experience like?
No gnarly tattoos. I mean, that would show real dedication, I think.
I might get a gnarly tattoo if they win it all this year. Yeah, Ray, where do I sit? So I sit on the field. I actually sit right by the players, which is just beyond an experience for me. It's a big adrenaline rush. My wife refuses to go to games with me. Unfortunately, not her fault, because I always kind of tell people I kind of black out before the game starts and I wake up after, because it's such an experience to me. My adrenaline's going, like I said. But yeah, I do sit on the field. I get to hear the players talking back and forth. You get to see the trash talking. You get to see everything, the sweat. It's for real. These guys are really just gladiators out there, and they are just fun to watch.
Yeah, it's fun to watch the team, and it's a good experience. I always tell people, if they don't really know soccer or if they haven't gone to many matches, you're going to experience it here at this match, right? You're going to hear everything. You're going to see everything. You're going to smell smells that you might not smell at, what is it? In LA or in Carson or other bigger stadiums, right? Because you're really close up. Even if you have the furthest back seat at Championship Soccer Stadium, it's right up there against the action. You get to see, hear, smell, maybe even taste some of the action. Who knows? Kayvon, what about you? Where's your typical seat a match day, and what's the experience like for you?
When you said smell, it reminded me of the smoke. You already know where I sit with the CLC. That's the best place, hands down. Uh, yeah, it what I hate is when we're attacking and it's a second half and we're attacking the far goal away from the CLC. But yeah, that's the best place to be.
Yeah, you're in the smoke covered seats. I will say this, it's probably not for everyone. I know there's some people that can't stand the smoke or get frustrated with the smoke. Maybe they can't stand some of the loud noises in the area, which is nice. There's a section for that. There's a section for everyone else. Jen, what about you? You mentioned you early, before the show. I think you mentioned you have some really prime real estate seats as well, right? And I don't know if Jen's able to hear me or not. We'll have to check on that on the background because I feel like there's been a couple questions and she's not able to hear me. Josh, favorite
Yes.
experience so far as an OCSC fan? A moment at Championship Soccer Stadium that you can recall that was great.
Oh man, I've been to a lot of games. I've only missed one game this year, and I'm going to blame it on my son because my son had a soccer tournament the opening day in Las Vegas. I think I remember talking to you about it, Ray, when you were at one of the games, and you know, wasn't happy, but at the same time, it's really just. I'm actually was born in Germany, but I'm from Orange County, right? So there's nothing better than being around folks that are from where you're at, talking to other soccer parents as well, seeing other kids that are playing. You see different club teams or even rec teams. Even if your child's not playing club or whatever they're playing, it's just a good experience to meet people. I've made a lot of friends just from talking to people and walking around and having dinner before. Couple memorable moments I have in my head. I remember a game last year. Shout out to Ryan Dogman, who had 2 goals. Hi, we hear you, Jen. Yes, that's okay. I remember Ryan Dogman just had 2 goals that were just bangers, just missiles. And from where I'm sitting, it just looked like a rocket ship just going into the goal. And just, it's just amazing. It really is. It's just so fun to go to.
Let's check this out. Jen, can you hear me? I don't know if Jen's able to hear me or not. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let Josh or Kayvon ask Jen a question based on what we've been talking about or any other question you want to ask.
I don't know if questions are being asked, but I cannot hear them. I heard them when you were talking, Josh, but
Okay. Well, Jen, that's okay. So what Ray and I were talking about was, just tell us about a great experience. Just maybe that day you went with your family and it was just like, wow, I remember this goal or, this player played really good. You can kind of just talk about that. That'd be great.
yeah. Well, I have 3 boys, and so we go as a family. And someone kind of alluded to this earlier that just the whole setup of the OCSC stadium and program and the vendors they bring in and all that stuff just makes it such a fun place to be as a family. And every home game we're there, and I feel 100% comfortable just letting my 9-year-old run around without us supervising him every second that we're there. And then my husband and I and my other 2 boys can actually sit and watch the game. But you mentioned Ryan Dogman before. He is by far one of my absolute favorite players. I think he doesn't get enough credit for his talent and the plays he creates. He just has such a presence on the field and just has such great runs up the line, and seems like he can always get the cross off and create plays for the team. And no one moment really sticks out in my mind. There's just like a lot of really great ones. I was thinking back as we were getting ready to, do this. I was thinking back to last season and just like how epic that the ending was for our team. I feel like the last 3 years that we've been following OCSC. The beginning of the story has always looked the same. It was a slow start, and kind of like mid to late summer, they started like getting their momentum. And then it was like, okay, there might be a chance here. And last season in particular, it felt like there was a real chance going into the semifinals. And, I remember watching at home. That was kind of like a highlight for us. We were sitting there watching them play the Switchbacks. We were like, okay, if they win this, they're playing Vegas. We will fly to Vegas. We will go to Vegas to support them if they make it. And it was just like heart-wrenching that they didn't make that through. But it's just it's so fun to be a fan. We were talking it before the show started, is like, being a real fan is being there through all of it, through the ups and the downs and the wins and the losses, and just having to go back and still cheer them on through all the frustration and player changes and coach changes and all of that. And, we keep coming back. We keep doing it.
Kayvon, what about you, Kayvon? What's your moment?
Is it favorite memory at the champ or just favorite memory overall?
Favorite memory as a fan. Let's just go favorite memory as a fan.
All right, well, that's an easy one. The away game in Tampa Bay, I was there in person. It was unreal. When we scored, just the penalty save itself was crazy. And then we score one, we score two, we score three, and it's 3-0 at halftime. I think Ray just went offline. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah.
We can hear you.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy to be in that stadium up 3-0 at halftime. All the Tampa Bay fans were pissed off. And yeah, it was a really, really good memory. And of course we won, so that tops it. I think you're muted, Ray.
I pull the Brad. For those that listen to the show, if any of y'all listen to the show, I pull the Brad there by muting myself. I'm trying to reboot the system because we're trying to figure out. It seems like Jen was the only one not able to hear me. I don't know if she can hear me now. It looks like she's nodding, so she can hear me now. So we were trying to troubleshoot live. That's the fun part of a live show here. Is sometimes there's technical difficulties and we have to troubleshoot it live. Jen, now that you can hear me, I want to ask you this question because you mentioned you have kids. Are those kids involved in sports, in soccer, or and how has their experience been? Like, tell us the experience through the eyes of the kids when they come to Championship Soccer Stadium.
So I have 3 boys, 9, almost 13, and 15. My 15-year-old does not play, and he's kind of more of a extreme enthusiast, skateboard, surfs, that kind of thing. But he's hilarious to go because he doesn't understand soccer. So he asks really silly questions throughout the games and just makes comments that crack me up throughout the game. So he's kind of a different situation. My other 2, they play club soccer. They play for Laguna United. And yep, they just had some big wins this last weekend. 4 national champion titles.
Yep.
Anyway, when we that first year that we started going, we had been doing some private lessons with Rob Kiernan, and it was the year after he had his knee surgery, his hip surgery, and wasn't sure if he was going to be able to fully make a comeback or not. And so we were so excited to finally be season ticket holders and come and watch Rob after training with him for so many months. And we'd see him coming out of the tunnel with his warm-up suit on. We're like, okay, today's not the day. And then finally he had to just call it. But, you start to develop just such a liking for these players, following them through social media and hearing their interviews, and, the seats we have being right there by the tunnel, watching them come in and out. And they're so kind and so gracious and really do take the time to get to know the kids, and remember things. There's, early on, Shuttler had promised his goalie gloves to my son and said, at the end of the season he'd give them. And the end of the season came, and my son was like so shy about it. And he totally remembered my son, and, kind of milled through some of the kids to give him his gloves. And my son is a goalie. And since then, we've started doing goalie training with him as well. So, it's like I just feel like these players are now a part of our everyday life. They're, we're texting them and, meeting up and stuff. And it really is kind of this small town family feel of, the stadium, the environment, the players. I don't know of a situation where it could get much better than it is. To have professional sports at that level with that type of access to the players and environment, it really is special.
It is a special experience for the fans, for the kids. I think the kids get a very special experience going to the OCSC matches compared to other bigger teams, because you do get that sort of personalized experience.
Mm-hmm.
I think these players really appreciate the fans, especially the kids, because it seems like they want to be involved with the community. Let me ask you this, Kayvon, because you've been a longer fan, a long term fan of this team. How have you seen the relationship between players and fans evolve over the years? Because I would assume, or I would think back in the days, it wasn't as sort of close niche as it is nowadays.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Back in the day, I just feel like there wasn't like a big fan base, so there wasn't much connection. Like maybe you knew a player because they played in like the area or like through a friend, but yeah, I feel like the connection between the fans and the players right now is like it's very strong. They come over after each game and they clap us, even win or lose, and even after a loss, when it sucks, we're all pissed off. They still come over, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a good experience, and that's something that's more recent, right? Is the players, regardless of the result, wanting to show appreciation to the fans, which I have loved seeing that evolution there, because I can remember back when we started this show, there wasn't that sort of relationship where the players committed to at least giving a clap to the fans for coming out and doing their thing, right? So I appreciate that. I know really quick before we're getting sort of to the point where we're going to wrap things up with all of you all, but I want to give you all a chance to share whatever you want to share at this moment. I'll go to you first, Josh, really quick, since you haven't talked for a while. If you have anything you want to say at this point.
Yeah. You know, after, well, first off, thanks for having me on. It's definitely been a pleasure. And I see, I think a win streak is coming just based on that last game. Playing El Paso away. You could see it in the players' faces. They saw the ball go in. They're like, "Whoa! Like this is great!" And it just kept coming. And I'm really big on just building momentum. They have the players, they have the support of the fans, and I think they have the best coach in the USL, in Danny Stone, who is just fantastic and passionate about what he does. Just sitting up close, I can see that his connection with the players. I'm looking forward to going on Saturday. I think it's the Jägermeister Cup. But we're there to support them, and I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it. I actually will be at that match. I'm bringing my son's LUFC team. Some of the players are coming out to the match for that one. So obviously, I think some of them know your son, Jen, so they're going to get to say hi and wave across the field. We'll be across the field, but that'll be fun. Do you have any messages to share with everyone, Jen?
We were talking about the player connections with the fans, and Danny Stone being such a great add-on. I've really appreciated his connection with the fans too. Like early on when he took on the head coach role, he came out and, made a point of turning to the fans and kind of nodding and making eye contact and, thumbs up and clapping and thank you for coming out. We've chatted with his dad in the stands several times. He's quite a hilarious little Liverpool fan. And it's just like I'm saying, it's just like everything is just feels like you're a part of the family. And I really think that OCSC is doing it right to continue that community family feel. But it's also a legitimate team, they're making strides, they're making a name for themselves, they're true contenders. And I just, I hope that first game win last weekend was the beginning of, or 2 weekends ago was the beginning of many more to come, because it's fun being a fan of a winning team.
It is always, it's more fun when they're winning, right? I mean, this would be obvious. That's just sports. It's a lot more fun when your team's doing well. It's harder to be supportive when they're struggling. And even with our show, it shows when we're winning, we usually have more viewers, more engagement. When the team is struggling, people are not paying as much attention to what we have to say, probably because we start saying the same thing week in and week out. Kayvon, any last thoughts before we let you all head out and enjoy the rest of your evening?
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Appreciate all that you guys do. I have one thing to show you guys.
The tattoo.
There's the
Oh,
tattoo.
Wow.
Mr. Ronaldo Damas, club legend. For those that are unaware, we created a Orange and Black Soccer Cast Hall of Fame, and he was part of the inaugural class that we created. So he was part of that first group that we said, yep, you deserve it. And this is fan voted. This wasn't just our choice. This was our choice and the fans' choice. So Ronaldo Damas is awesome. With that said, hey, I want to thank Jen. I want to thank Josh. I want to thank Kayvon for taking some time to speaking with us. This is something that we envisioned. We're trying to look at the calendar. When do we have a show that we can maybe spend some time, talk to some of the fans that aren't typical fans on our show or typically part of our show? We're all fans on the show. We're not paid. We don't make money. We're not employed by the club. We do this because we're fans, but we wanted to also reach out to other fans and speak to other fans that we've seen around the stadium, talk to about soccer. So we appreciate you all taking some time out of a Tuesday evening to speak with us. And we hope we share your enthusiasm. We share your optimism with this club. We're hoping that this is the start of something big, the big win on the road in El Paso. Let's get something going. Obviously the Jägermeister Cup we've talked about on the show is anything with the word cup in it, maybe isn't the greatest for Orange County, but maybe we could turn things around after that impressive El Paso match. So thank you, Jen. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Kayvon. And keep supporting this team through thick and thin.
You bet.
With that said, we're going to transition and we're going to bring on some familiar faces right now because we actually have a match that we're going to start talking about a little bit here. But I want to bring on, obviously you recognize the bearded man himself, Larry.
What's
and
up,
Mr.
y'all?
Brad from Vegas. First of all, gentlemen, thank you for hanging tight in the background where we're talking to some of the Orange County fans that we don't get to hear from much on the show. How are y'all doing? So let me ask y'all first, because I think neither of y'all were on last week's show. I wasn't here either. So none of us got to talk about the excitement of the big win in El Paso. So let me just get your quick thoughts on that. Larry.
You know what? I love the fact that the team finally got a clean sheet. That was huge. Haven't had one in, I can't even tell you how long it had been since the team had a clean sheet of 14, 15 games, something like that. The question that was most prevalent in my mind is, did we have a good game or did we have 9 good minutes and then we just held on for the other 81? And I think that's a legitimate question. And unfortunately, I didn't get to, I wasn't able to be on the show to discuss and expand upon that. I think defensively, it was a solid game. Offensively was meh, but we, again, 9 very good minutes. And you know what? Sometimes that's all it takes. And in this case, that's all it took.
Brad, let me ask you your thoughts on the match.
Yeah, I believe we all are in bad form right now in terms of getting back into the swing of the show. You with your little gaff at the beginning. Um, I agree with Larry a lot on this take. I do believe this was like one of the second time it's ever happened where a team won a game scoring more goals than they had shots on target. I think that own goal really helped us out. Um,
That
look,
wasn't an own goal. That was going in with or without him.
Okay, it's not how it counted on the scoreboard,
I
but
know.
either way, I think you nailed it on the head. 9 really good minutes, and look, if 9 minutes is all it takes for us to start winning games, then I'm going to look forward to that.
And I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to act like I know what happened. You all know, anyone that listens to the show knows that I can be a little bit superstitious when it comes to stuff. And we had such a great performance. I did not get a chance to watch that match. For those that were unaware why I wasn't here last week, I work at UCI and it was commencement weekend last weekend. And I literally worked like 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Actually, Monday, I was there till 9 p.m. So, I didn't have any time to even watch the match. And even after that, I didn't watch it after I found out how good it was. I'm like, maybe I'm the problem. Me watching the matches is causing Orange County to struggle. So I chose not to watch the match. I'm going to be at the match this weekend. So we'll be able to judge if that's in fact maybe a thing. Maybe I'll have to stop watching Orange County Soccer Club. Larry, you look like you want to say something.
We all have for quite some time agreed with the fact that you are the problem, Ray. It's you.
Yeah. I've always been the problem. And thus, I guess, I don't know. Am I responsible for every loss, but I don't get any credit for the wins either, Larry?
Absolutely correct. That's the way it works. It's unfortunate, but it's true. So, there you go. Suck it up. Take it on the chin. That's what you get for being the lead host.
So then maybe I come to the match this weekend with a blindfold and I just don't watch it. Maybe I hear it. I just don't watch it. We'll see how that goes. Talking about unfortunate things, Orange County is coming off a big win in El Paso in a league match. They have a weekend off, and now they have a cup match at home against Sacramento Republic. We've talked about this all season, and even in the past. Anything with the word cup in it, Orange County basically does something to the bed, right?
Not sure I can hear anybody.
We can hear you, Jared.
We could hear Jared, but he can't hear us. We're having some technical difficulties with the sound on this today. We'll figure things out. But we have a cup match against Sacramento Republic. Let me ask you, Brad, do we already have this written down as a loss, being that it's a cup match, or do you have any faith coming off the big win in El Paso?
I mean, coming off a big win in El Paso, a week off, I'm assuming we're going to be very rusty to start the game. Going to take some time to get into it. I think the defense is going to be solid. They've just stepped it up a little over the last couple of weeks. However, with that said, it is a cup match, and you guys know my thoughts on the cup. They chose the wrong sponsor and the wrong format, in my opinion.
Yeah, Brad is still petitioning for this to be the Malort Cup, obviously, which for Orange County fans would make sense. For Reno fans, I guess makes sense. Or for any fans in the greater Chicago area, it would make sense. But anywhere else, you probably don't know what we're talking about. Larry, your thoughts on this match? Again, same question. It's a cup match. Does that mean we're going to lose?
It doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to lose, but here is the question. And correct me if I'm wrong, please. In the group stage, we only play 4 matches, correct? Have I got that right, Brad?
Yep.
Okay. So that means that Sacramento, Las Vegas, and Monterey, none of them can take a single point. If they do, even if we win both of our last 2 games, we don't move on to the next round. So this is somewhat of a meaningless game on Saturday by way of the Jägermeister Cup. However, this is a meaningful game for Orange County Soccer Club. We are playing one of our rivals. We are playing one of the teams that is historically one of the stronger teams in the USL Championship. The team cannot come out flat on Saturday unless we are planning on not showing out our A1 team. Maybe we play some younger guys to get them some minutes because there is no opportunity for Orange County Soccer Club to move on in the tournament. We won't know that obviously until an hour before game time. We won't know the starting lineup. But I think that if we do bring out all the big guns, if we bring out our usual starting 11, if we bring out our strongest 18, then we have to have a good performance. Win or lose, it's got to be a good performance on Saturday in order to keep that momentum that the team started in El Paso a little over a week ago.
Yeah, it's interesting, this whole format of the USL. What is it? What is the official title? I know it's Jägermeister Cup, but if you take the sponsorship out of it, I can't remember exactly what it's called. But
It's just always
yeah.
been the Jägermeister Cup.
Well, I mean, that's the branding, but if you go and did like a Google search, they're going to label it as something specific, like it's the USL League Cup or whatever they want to call it. I don't know. It is the Jägermeister Cup. I agree. The branding sucks. Let's get Malort on board. Malort, spend your money. Sponsor the cup. But yeah, no. Orange County versus Sacramento. These are two of the longest tenured clubs in the USL Championship. I know Orange County dates back to the beginning of the modern day USL Championship, I guess. We talked about that a couple weeks ago when I did a trivia on here, but Sacramento has been around a while. The interesting thing, right, is I think when Sacramento came out, there were the aspirations of MLS in Sacramento. I feel like Sacramento was sort of like some of these other teams that have come, spent a year or two in USL, and then they were expecting to go to MLS. That didn't quite happen for them. I feel like Orange County has always been, hey, we are USL Championship level team. We don't have these aspirations of being an MLS club. We're not in that market. We don't have that financial backing. We don't have the thoughts of doing that. But both of these teams have been around for a while, and it's a deep-rooted rivalry in the state between Sacramento and Orange County, Northern California versus Southern California. And you've had other teams that have come and go. Look at LA Galaxy, look at San Diego Loyal, look at Fresno, FC that didn't survive. These are two teams that have survived in this league at this level and have been competitive and have always been some of the more competitive teams when it comes to the product on the pitch. Maybe not consistently. Obviously, Orange County has struggled from time to time. I think Sacramento maybe can say they've had a little bit more of a consistent run over the years, but it's nice to see the interstate battle. And another opportunity for these teams to play, which is in the Jägermeister Cup. Now, I'm going to answer my question. I asked you guys the question, hey, is this cup thing mean that this is an automatic loss for Orange County? I'm going to be honest. I don't have a lot of faith in this. I feel like I've had faith, and I've been proven wrong every time there's a cup match. Orange County, just for whatever reason, even if they put out a strong team, Orange County cannot win in a cup match. Hopefully I'm proven wrong.
But does it matter if we win this game or not? Or is it more important that the team gives a good, strong showing? I mean, so what? Let's say we end up in a 0-0 draw. Or no, wait, we go to shootout. Okay, let's say we end up going to a shootout and we lose 5-4 in a shootout. Is that still a good performance is needed?
I think the important aspect of all this is Orange County needs to see some wins. They need to get on a run of wins, not just good-looking performances. I think been the one lone person. I think maybe I've had some agreement here and there that even with all the losses or the struggles of Orange County, they have shown some stuff. They have shown that they are better than what the results have been. It's just they haven't been capitalizing on the moments that they've had. I think at this point we need more than that. So we can't just look like we played good but still not get the result. I think Orange County really strongly they need victories. They need wins. They need to put a string of 3, 4, 5 wins in a row to really get that confidence going and get the momentum going. We're now hitting that second part of the season, that second half of the season, right? We're getting to that point where the team needs to now really know, hey, the window's closing. We need to start doing a lot better. I know Larry and Brad are probably trying to figure out, are we really at the halfway point?
We're not.
I know we're not.
We're third.
But we're getting there. I said we're getting there, though. I'm sorry. Even if we're only a third of the way on the games, on the matches, this part of the season, this part of the year, midsummer is where you start thinking about, is this team going to be able to do it? or should we sort of give up on this season and know that this season's a loss, start, focusing for next season? So we'll have to see. We'll figure this out.
Oh, it looks like Jared was here and now he's gone.
I think he's trying to figure things out. I think he's having some technical difficulties. And the magic of a live show, we're not a podcast that, records and then edits and clips things up and makes it sound really great. We're a live show. When there's technical difficulties, guess what we have to do, Larry? We have to do what you and I are really good at. We have to talk.
Improvise. Or we could start recording it and then we could just let producer Andy do all of his magic that he would be more than happy to do. I know he would be, and I know he's probably making angry faces at me off air right now. Love you, Andy. Hey, buddy.
Brad, are you more? Well, let me ask you. Just after I ranted for 5 minutes, what are your thoughts on my discussion? My thoughts.
I agree with some points that you make. Like, yes, I do want to see the team make good efforts on this game. Because at the end of the day, it's a game, it's momentum, and we need to be performing. We can't just sit back and say, well, it's a cup game, let's not do our best. Because at the end of the game, that's what we're here for. Do I put as much stock into this tournament as other people? I've never really put much stock into this tournament ever since I saw kind of how they have the lineup set up. But we'll see after this weekend if the fourth game means anything.
Yeah. Well, let's do this. We're going to try and see if we can bring on someone that knows a little bit about our opponent. Maybe we've figured out the technical difficulties, maybe not. I don't know if Jared can hear. No, I don't think Jared can hear us. Not yet. Unfortunately, we're having some technical difficulties. We have Jared. He's been on the show before for State of the Republic podcast. A friend of the show, trying to figure things out. Props to him. I could see him working very hard in the background, trying to figure out the technical issues. I'm sure producer Andy's trying to figure some stuff out with him as well. So hopefully, if we can figure it out, great. If not, we'll have to have him on in a future episode. While we're waiting to figure things out, I'm going to just go to this score predictions. What Larry's like, what the heck is, Larry wants to show off his tattoo. It's a nice tattoo, Larry. Definitely not as cool as Ronaldo Damas tattoo, but please. It's a cool tattoo. Score prediction, Brad.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go give the most Ray score prediction ever, 5-0 Sacramento. Followed by a nice little drink of the official sponsor of the Orange and Black Soccer Cast.
The unofficial. You got to say unofficial sponsor because they are not the official. Yes.
But if you want to be a sponsor, we will gladly take that sponsorship.
Malort, reach out to us if you want to sponsor our show. We will take it. We already drink your stuff. We suffer off the pitch so that our team doesn't suffer on it. So if you want to do it. Hey, I can only say that because I know Malort, they actually embrace that whole our product does not taste good mentality. They know it. They've sort of mass marketed it that way, which is the reason why I can say it like that. It's not like this is something where we need to fake like it tastes good, like some other stuff we've tried on the show in the past. Larry, go for it. Your prediction.
Oh man, I was just remembering that night. Boy, that was bad. Prediction for this game. It's going to depend. Okay, if we bring out our strongest 18, we're going to win this game 2-1. If we bring out a team of kids to get them some experience and get them some minutes, and we don't bring out our strongest 18, we're going to lose 3-1.
Well, Larry, we're gonna play pretend. If you're Danny Stone, what's your lineup? Are you bringing out a strong lineup, or are you bringing out a kid lineup?
I think this team needs to build upon the momentum. As I said before, it needs to build upon the momentum that they started in El Paso. Great win in El Paso, or a great 9 minutes, whichever way you want to look at it, but a good, strong win against a very, very good team this year. Then having a week off, need to recapture that momentum and need to keep it going. I am bringing out, if I'm Danny Stone, for starters, we've got the same haircut, so there's a start right there. I could be Danny Stone. I'm bringing out my strongest 18 to include the new signing. We can't talk about him. We don't know who it is. His face was blurred out. I think it's Dylan Powers, by the way, in case y'all were wondering. But I'm bringing my strongest 18 that I can find. I know it's not Dylan Powers. I just, I can hope, can't I?
Larry wants Dylan Powers back. Wow. And the fact that Larry thinks he looks like Danny Stone, that is just some ludicrous statements coming from Larry's mouth today. Brad, play pretend. You're Coach Danny Stone. Are you bringing out a strong 11 or are you bringing out a rotated side?
You guys are missing like the most easiest tagline: the strongest 18 or the under 18. Come on, which one is it?
That well done, sir. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
I raise my glass. It's empty, but I raise it anyway.
Thank you. I'm doing a mix. I do think there is value in playing the strongest 18. However, I do think also we need to see, what this mystery man new signing, where he's going to be on the field, if he's midfield, if he's defense. I'm certainly hoping a defender. But on top of that, give the kids some minutes. This is a game that I'm not sold on that we need to win. I do think it's good for momentum. But at the end of the day, treat it like the Open Cup, in my opinion. One game at a time.
One match at a time. That'd be cool if we could think that way. But again, I know we're not at the halfway point, but mentally we're at the halfway point. We need to figure things out. We need to get things going. This team needs to go on a run. They need to get, like I said, I'm looking at, we need like a nice run of like 5 wins in a row to really build that confidence, not just in the players, but in the fans. So that's what I'm hoping for. And hopefully that happens. My prediction. Oh, Larry, you wanted to say something.
I was going to say, I don't think fans have lost faith. That's evidenced by being able to, on almost kind of a last minute notice, pull 3 random fans to come and be a part of the podcast tonight. So I think that if we reached out again, next week we could get 3 more people and 3 more people. We could get 3 different people every single week to come on for 10 or 15 minutes and do exactly what was done tonight. So the fans are behind this team. We're all behind this team. I wouldn't worry about that part so much.
And I'm going to just say right now, I want to thank our friend of the show, Jared from State of the Republic podcast. He tried really hard to fix the technical issues that he was having. I don't know if it was our end, if it was on his end, or if it was a combination of both. He tried for about 20 minutes, couldn't make it work. But I do want to give props to Jared and State of the Republic podcast. If you don't listen to them, listen to them. They're a good friend of the show. Jared's been on our show multiple times over the past few years. And producer Andy, you have something to say.
Yeah, I just want to point out that the last time Jared tried to join us is when the platform took a dump and wouldn't let anybody do anything.
Yes. So
I don't know how he's a good dude. I wanted to have him on so bad. Darn it.
I don't know how much of a fan or a friend of the show he's gonna be after these 2 last experiences he's joined us. But we appreciated Jared for trying. Again. Follow or look for that podcast, that show. Great friend of the show. Very, very good podcast to follow if you want to follow up on Sacramento Republic. And it's interesting because I think he's in Arizona or I think he even moved from Arizona or some point, right? Or I don't know where he is now, but he's not in Sacramento, but he covers Sacramento. Sort of like what we do. Brad covers Orange County, but he lives in Nevada. And Dylan's in Sacramento, but covers Orange County. Maybe Dylan should cover Sacramento. I don't know. Yeah. With that said, hey, we're going to just start wrapping things up here because unfortunately, unless Brad would be the only person I think would have any interesting knowledge to say about Sacramento to share with our listeners. But I don't even think Brad was prepared for that moment. So Brad, let us know if you want to share any thoughts on Sacramento.
I mean, we're very familiar with the team. I don't think any more in-depth knowledge from what I can tell you is going to really change anything. Like Lopez, Cicerone, Vitello's goalie, like Jack Gurr, the team's played very well consistently. They're currently first place in the USL, whatever conference division we're in for the Jägermeister Cup. They're just a good team.
But they are struggling. They're struggling a little bit this year, though.
They're still above us in the table in the regular season.
by 1 point, but we have a game in hand.
Ooh.
Semantics. Anyway,
Larry's calling Brad out for the
I'm just saying.
details.
Of course, their goal difference is +5 and ours is -3. So, it's a lot of question marks in regards to that. But I'd like to thank you right now, Brad, for naming all of the guys that I dislike the most from Sacramento. Thank you. Awesome.
Who's the player from Sacramento that tried to drag an injured Ethan Zubak off the pitch last time they were at championship? Roro, huh? So is Roro going to be playing this weekend? Do we know? Or is I don't know. If he's playing, fans be ready to boo that guy because he tried to drag an injured Ethan Zubak, and it's not like Ethan was faking an injury to kill time. He actually missed some matches after that match because it was a legit injury, and Roro tried to drag him off because he thought he was faking it. So fans, come in full force, and I love Roro the person. We all know sort of what happened with him and his son recently, but he's now become an enemy to the Orange County Soccer Club fans. We got to boo him for that. So make sure you're booing him all you can at the match if he's out there. Brad, were you going to say something?
No, I'm satisfied with our coverage of this upcoming game.
The main thing you could take away from this coverage: boo Roro if he's on the pitch because he tried to drag an injured Ethan Zubak off the pitch last time he was here.
Sounds like a plan.
That said,
I'm in.
With that said, hey, make sure you follow us on social medias or follow us on whatever platform you like to listen or watch us on, whether that's YouTube, Spotify, or any other podcast platform. Your likes, your follows or subscriptions, your shares, it helps boost our I forget. I can't think of the word. My mind's going dead. It boosts our appearance. I don't know. What's the right word? Brad, you're
The
laughing at me. What's the
algorithm.
right word?
Just the algorithm.
Well, I know there's the algorithm, but it boosts
That's
our
what everyone says. It boosts our standing in the algorithm. All hail the YouTube algorithm and the Spotify algorithm and the Apple Music algorithm and other
whatever
algorithms,
algorithm
whatever they
you're
are.
talking about. Okay, so all hail the algorithm, but if we get higher on that algorithm if you like, share, subscribe, all that stuff on social media, on podcast, on YouTube, wherever you find us, please do so. Let's get on to this. What did we learn this episode? We've learned a lot, but let's narrow it down to one thing. And I'm going to go to you first, Larry. What did you learn today?
What did I learn? You know what? I'm going to change it up a little bit. And I apologize. I'm going to tell you what I didn't learn. I didn't learn anything about Tottenham or Ray's kids soccer team this week. And let's go ahead and just leave it at that. Let's not change that. Let's let it go right there.
Well, what I learned is Larry. Well, hold on, Brad. I'm going to go. I learned that Larry was maybe not paying attention to the first half of the show because I had some, conversation with Jen a little bit about club soccer. And I don't know if you saw me go yay when she mentioned LUFC because my son plays for LUFC. Her son plays for LUFC.
I wasn't paying attention then. I was actually trimming my toenails. So I'm sorry.
Which prop?
Very important. It had to be done.
Props to LUFC. They Laguna United. If you're not familiar with that name, they won like 4 national championships in the EA league. So props to them, a local club team that did really well recently, including the top flight team or the EA team for the boys 2012 team, which is the age that my son and I believe Jensen also plays for. So. Props to them. Keep it up. And my son's now after seeing that, my son has set his aspirations higher. He wants to try and be able to compete at that level in the near future. Brad, what did you learn this episode?
I learned that I still dislike the sponsorship of this cup. I still think that this cup is the silliest thing that the USL could have implemented. Just save the Open Cup, do away with this Jägermeister Cup, or do with a better Malort-like sponsor.
A Malort-like sponsor, because nothing says Malort like Jägermeister, right?
And how truly awful this cup is, in my opinion.
I do want to remind everyone that it's Pride Month, and although we didn't do a fantasy playing for Pride game this year, you could still support the cause. Find a good cause to donate to. In the past, we've donated to Athlete Alley, but you could pick and choose what you want to donate to. You could pick who you want to support, and I just in honor of Pride Month. Love is what we need. Love is what you need for all, and This goes beyond even just pride. We need love. We need love in this world for everyone. And let's hopefully have that. And again, pick and choose your way to support. We didn't have a game this year, but in the past, we asked you to help support as part of your participation. Hey, you don't need a game to tell you to support things. Support it in any way that you can. Even if it's not monetary, just in any way that you can help support something that's a good cause.
Couldn't agree more.
I want to say thanks to a lot of people. First and foremost, I do want to thank, again, Jared from State of the Republic for trying for 20 minutes to get on our show. Unfortunately, it did not work out. He wasn't able to figure out the technical difficulties. Him and producer Andy were trying to fix that. Unfortunately, it didn't work. I also want to thank the fans that joined our show tonight. Apparently, Larry thinks we can get three different fans every episode, and that would not be an issue. So I guess, producer Andy, let us know if that actually can happen, if we can get three new fans every episode, because Larry thinks that's simple. I know producer Andy works really hard, so thanks to producer Andy. Thanks to those fans for joining us, Kayvon, Jen, Josh. It was a pleasure talking to you all. We definitely need to figure out maybe a time in the offseason where we can have a longer conversation with some of you and even additional fans. I think it's a great experience to figure out where the fans are coming from, how they became fans, and how long they've been supporting the team. Hey, my fellow co-host, Larry, Brad, you all are awesome too. I hope you enjoyed this episode. With that said, hey, let's wrap this up. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. Oh, wait, Larry.
Just a super quick story, because Jen was talking about how Orange County Soccer Club is its own like small community, and absolute proof of this. Back at the end of April, beginning of May, right towards the end of the high school baseball season, I'm umpiring a varsity game down in for Capistrano Valley. Capital Valley Christian, and I don't remember who they were playing, but I was the home plate umpire. I went back to go get a drink of water in between, and I heard somebody say, "That looks like Larry." And I look up, and it's Jen and her family sitting right there in the front row watching this high school baseball game that I happen to be umpiring very randomly. So yeah, you know what, Orange County Soccer Club, we are our own community. We are our own family, if you would. So I just wanted to say that out there to everybody. Keep that in mind. Keep having the boys' backs, and keep tuning into us so we can all blame Ray for stuff.
I feel like we need to get like a doorbell sound, so whenever producer Andy wants to jump on here, we can have a doorbell. Producer Andy, what do you got?
Just want to point out that we didn't have to hear about Tottenham this week. We almost got away with not hearing about high school baseball umpiring, and then something happened.
I even got a new baseball tattoo too. So,
is this now the Larry tattoo show? We're just going to see Larry's tattoos throughout the whole show. If you want to see his tattoos, watch the video form either on YouTube or on Spotify when we release that. Hey, okay, it's been too long now. We got to wrap this up. Again, thank you to everyone. Thanks to everyone that listened live and participated in the chats. I know we didn't interact much with the chats today. I think there was a lot more interaction with the technical difficulty we're having, but I appreciate that as well. Hey, this is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. We are out.